she rescued a drowning alien dragon. Their gratitude shocked her. The summer evening was settling over the coastal cliffs of Haverford Bay. Lyra Winters, a marine biologist with a penchant for solitude, had wandered down to the cliff's edge after another long day in the laboratory. The waves crashed against the rocks far below, sending salty sprays into the air. Normally, this time was hers alone, a sanctuary from the hum of city life and the endless demands of research. But tonight, the ocean was different. It hummed with an energy she could not place, almost as if it were alive, watching her. Lyra's curiosity drew her closer to the water. The tide was unusually high, curling and clawing at the rocks with ferocity she had never seen. She noticed a strange glimmer among the waves, a glint of silver and green scales reflecting the dying sun. At first, she thought it was some exotic fish washed ashore, a rare specimen. But then she realized it was far too large, far too deliberate in its movements. Something, or someone, was struggling in the surf. Without thinking, Lyra stripped off her shoes and waded into water, ignoring the sharp bite of the cold. The waves lashed at her, threatening to knock her off her feet, but she pressed forward. Then she saw it clearly, a creature unlike anything she had ever imagined. Its body was serpentine yet muscular, covered in iridescent scales that shimmered like molten metal. Its eyes were immense, luminous, and intelligent, filled with a fear that pierced Lyra's heart. The creature's wings, delicate yet strong, flailed helplessly in the foam. It was drowning. Lyra lunged, grabbing the dragon by its torso, feeling the strange warmth of its alien skin under her hands. Its scales were slick and smooth, almost like oil on water. It made a sound, not a growl, not a roar, but a series of clicks and hums that resonated deep in her chest. She fought against the waves, dragging it toward the shallow waters, and finally managed to pull it onto a jagged rock ledge. Both of them were drenched, battered, and trembling, but the immediate danger had passed. The dragon lay still, panting, or something akin to panting. Lyra's heart pounded as she studied it. Its body was enormous, longer than any creature she had ever touched. Yet there was a fragility to it. She had saved its life, but she had no idea what it was, or if it would even be grateful. Hours passed. The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in streaks of violet and amber. Lyra wrapped herself in her jacket and watched the creature, unsure what to do next. Then, as darkness settled over the bay, something miraculous happened. The dragon lifted its head and fixed its glowing eyes on her. And then it spoke, not in words, but through thought. "You saved me." Lyra staggered back, her mind reeling. The sound was not audible, yet it penetrated her very consciousness. "I owe you my life." I don't understand," she whispered aloud. You can think, more than think, communicate, learn, protect." Lyra realized that this was no ordinary dragon. Its kind must have come from beyond the stars, an alien intelligence stranded on Earth, and it was alive because of her courage, or perhaps her reckless curiosity. The dragon's wings twitched, sending sparks of bioluminescent light cascading across the rocks. Then it lifted off, not entirely gracefully, its injuries evident, but hovered in the air, circling her in a protective arc. "You can't stay here," Lyra said. "They'll capture you, or worse." "I must. I owe you. You will see." Lyra didn't know what that meant, but the dragon's gaze was firm, filled with resolve. Over the next few days, she nursed it back to health, feeding it strange marine creatures and cautiously learning how it communicated. The dragon, whom she came to call Nyx, seemed intelligent beyond human understanding. It learned her language quickly, not through sounds, but through thought and intention. Then the gratitude manifested. One evening, as Lyra sat on the cliff, Nyx approached her with something in his claws, a small device, smooth and silver, glowing faintly. "This is a gift," it said, "for saving my life. It will protect you when you cannot protect yourself." Lyra reached out hesitant and took the object. The moment she touched it, she felt a surge of warmth, a strange clarity in her mind. Images flashed, distant stars, vast oceans of foreign world, and the presence of beings she could not name. She understood Somehow, how fragile life was across the cosmos, and how rare true kindness could be. Then came the night the sky changed forever. Lyra had just returned to the cliff after a late-night expedition to collect samples when the horizon blazed with light. Ships unlike any human craft descended from the clouds, massive and metallic, emitting a low hum that rattled the rocks beneath her feet. Nyx soared to meet them, glowing brighter than ever. "They are here," Nyx communicated. "They've come to retrieve me. But you will not be harmed. You are my protector now." Lyra's mind raced. The ships were vast, alien. Their intention was unclear, but Nyx's presence alone gave her courage. The dragon dove into the lead ship's path, deflecting beams of light and energy that would have incinerated her in an instant. It moved with grace and power she could barely comprehend. Lyra realized in the full magnitude of her act. Saving a single life, a life unlike any other, had bound her fate to a cosmic scale she had never imagined. Nyx returned momentarily, circling her, and she felt a bond stronger than any she had known. Then, just as suddenly as they appeared, the ships ascended, leaving the bay empty and silent. Nyx landed beside her, wounded but triumphant. "The gratitude you feel is not just mine," Nyx said. "You have shown the universe that compassion exists on your world. That matters." Lyra looked at the alien dragon, her heart swelling with awe and fear. "What now?" she asked. "We wait. We prepare. The universe is wider than you know, Lyra, and you are no longer alone." Days turned into weeks, and the bond between Lyra and Nyx deepened. Nyx taught her how to use a device it had given her, a sort of defensive shield against threats both terrestrial and alien. Together, they discovered other strange phenomena, glowing ocean currents that were not natural, forests that hummed with intelligence, and signs of creatures not yet revealed to humanity. Each time, Nyx's presence saved them, guiding Lyra with insight and care. One morning, the government agents arrived, armed and hostile, having heard rumors of the alien creature on the cliffs. Lyra and Nyx stood side by side, ready. But when the agents attempted to capture them, the device glowed, projecting a barrier of light and energy. The agents could not penetrate it. Nyx hovered behind Lyra, wings spread wide, as if to shield her with its very existence. "You see," Nyx said, "kindness and courage protect you in ways you cannot always anticipate. This is the universe's gratitude to you." It was then Lyra understood fully. The dragon's gratitude was not mere sentiment. It was a force that reshaped reality around them. Every act of compassion she had ever performed, every life she had tried to save, even before meeting Nyx, had led to this moment. And now, with the universe itself watching, she had the power to continue protecting life, not just on Earth, but across the stars. Years later, Lyra would look back on that fateful evening at Haverford Bay and smile. She had saved a creature that no one else could have saved, and in doing so, she had changed everything. Nyx became a constant companion, protector, and friend, and together, they discovered that the universe was not a cold, indifferent void. It was alive, responsive, and full of wonder, rewarding those brave enough to act with compassion. And the gratitude of an alien dragon? It was more than she could ever have imagined. It was a force that would shape the future, not just for her, but for all life.